Okay, so I wanted to come on here and share um, this really beautiful moment that I had with the Lord. This was a vision that He gave me that I was like, I think that was a vision. Normally, it takes me a lot longer to catch on, but this was kind of more immediately. And I'm gonna share this and hopefully can encourage you. Like, He's real, y'all. He's so real. Anyways, um, which, by the way, even though I know that and that's true to me, it still shocks me at times. Like, his presence will always make me stop and say, wait, so you actually are, like, real? Like, I don't know. It's just so shocking. He's just beautiful like that. Anyways, so I was praising him. I was singing to him. And one little side note is I have always struggled with being able to see him in a tangible, relationshipy, father type way. I've always kind of seen him at a distance, and so for me, he's always been like God, but not like Lord, not like Abba, Father, not the other things that he identifies himself as, that other people identify himself as. So it's always been kind of like for me. But I was singing to him, and for some reason, I just felt on my spirit like the word like pleased came to my mind, spirit, whatever, and it was like not. It was like somebody was pleased with me. Somebody, meaning him, but I couldn't like connect it that quickly. But it was just like pleased, pleased. Oh, he's pleased. Okay, he's pleased with me by my singing. Okay, great, yay. Um, and and like maybe a few seconds after that, I kind of look up at an angle, and before me there's like this image, and um, sorry, this is something that's I've been debating on sharing because I'm like, this is so precious that I just, it kind of pains me a little bit to share this, but I think like maybe this could touch someone. Maybe this will be meaningful to someone, and that means more than me being scared of it being received or not received or whatever. But anyways, so yeah, I heard that word, and then I saw this image, and it was like all golden looking, and I knew immediately it was heaven. And I was looking like before me at an angle. I was looking before me, and it was God on His throne. But um, I could see like everything else around, even though I was only looking straight. So as I was looking, I felt or heard. It's kind of hard to explain. I know it sounds kind of weird. Like, how do you not know if you like heard this stuff? I know it wasn't audible. I know that for sure. But it was just like something just deposited on my spirit so loudly that it was like, was that heard? Like, I don't know. It's kind of complicated, at least for me to explain. But there was that again. That word, that feeling again. Pleased. I'm pleased with you, and I'm like, really? Since when? Like, which is terrible to say because I talk about how loving he is, and I need to like realize that for myself. But anyways, that's a whole other thing. And so I'm looking up, and I see him, and I even though I'm looking straight at him, if you ever seen those movies where they have like either like they fall asleep and then they're or they die or something and their spirit leaves, it was kind of like that. Um, my eyes stayed in one spot, and this is physical. This is physical. My eyes stayed in one spot, but I saw my, like, spirit, I guess, lift out of my body, and I was wearing, like, this white robe, kind of looked like my, like, graduation gown, and there was this warmth. I can't remember if it was honestly physically felt, like, in the natural, but definitely in the dream, there was just this overwhelming feeling of, like, warmth and peace and joy and all that kind of stuff, but definitely warmth. And everything around me was gold and majestic looking and beautiful. And there were, like, it kind of looked like something from, like, a Greek, like, Greek or Roman, like, palace or something with these large columns, and everything was gold, but it was such a brilliant gold, such a clear gold, that it almost looked just like clear. Like, I don't know if that really makes sense, but it was like the purest looking gold you've ever seen. It wasn't even like our gold. And I was looking forward, but the vision panned from, like, how do I say this? From, I guess, yeah, from right to left. And he was sitting on his throne before me, so he was moving, like, in the opposite way, if that makes sense. But so I stood still. I saw this, and it like yeah, panned from right to left, and I could make out, like, his hand and his leg, and they were huge. They were, like, you know, like, maybe my face, like, his hand, just his hand alone was at least my face, maybe twice my face or something. But like, I could only see, like, the side of his body. But for some reason, the hand and the foot really stood out to me. Just, I think, because of how large they were, and they were, like, pure, like, he was like a light being, basically, and so they were like this pure white color, like, not like a person, but like the brightness of a light. Like, it looked like he was lit up. And so I could see that, and oh my gosh, I'm sorry, it means so much to me. But so yeah, I saw that, and then as it panned through, it got to the center of him, and as I say, I had my eyes fixed on that. Excuse me. And when it got to the center, it moved kind of slowly too, so I could really, like, take stock of everything. And I'm like, that hand, though, that hand, I can't get over that hand. But yeah, it was. I hope I'm not the best at explaining it. I hope it makes sense. Like, it was literally like his fingers were made out of light bulbs. Like, it was so cool. Or if you've ever, like, ooh, a hummingbird. Sorry. If you ever, like, put your finger on a light and then you can see, like, your veins and everything through, like, it was kind of like that. Like, it was just so interesting looking. And then when it got to the center of him, I just remember just, like, really being in awe, because I couldn't make out a face at all. Like, I tried so hard, and this is where it's like, okay, this is not imagination. I tried so hard to, like, oh, let me just think of something that, like, would work. Like, I know I can think if I just force myself to, but this wasn't that. This was a vision, so I can't do that. And I want to make it very clear that I knew physically where I was. It wasn't like this person appeared to me and said, like, no. It was not like that either, okay? It was very much an image, not an actual, like, thing. So, I saw from, like, okay, so I couldn't make sense of, like, his face and anything, like, within the center of his body, his torso and everything. I couldn't, like, make out a form of that. It was just kind of like, I mean, I guess there's something there. I don't know. I don't think he's just a hand, just a right hand at that. But but there was a, like, sorry, this is kind of hard to explain for me. It was like he was like a light beam, just light beams coming out of him throughout the center, if that makes sense. So if you ever like had like something clear and you've reflected like the light off of it and then you shine it, and then it's like that blinding kind of, like, you can't make out the figure, you can only see the beams coming out of it. It was exactly like that. That's what his face and like entirety of like the center of his body looked like. It was just like oh and then it panned through to the other side, and that other side, the left, or wait, if he's sitting, whatever, his other side looked exactly like the other side. So it was again that very like white light, but I could still see the formation of his hand and everything. But that center, oh my gosh, I was just so in awe of that, because I'm like, Lord, no, I want to see your face. I was so sad, but I was also really in awe. And I remember one very interesting thing was that even though he was the light, and it was only him in the room, and he was the light that was shining and illuminating that whole area that he was in, but it was kind of dark in comparison to what was outside of this dwelling area that he was in. And for some reason that really stood out to me. Again, like, I'm only looking forward, so I'm able to view all this stuff from my I can't say the word, but you know what I mean, in the vision. But that really kind of stood out to me for some reason. I'm like, why is it kind of like oddly dark here? Like this little like secret like God cave kind of a thing. But I knew there was a verse I thought there was a verse that kind of like went along with that. And there's kind of a lot, I suppose. His character is you know, I was reading, what is that verse? It's like, for I am humble in heart and lowly in spirit. Something to that effect. I have that wrong. But his character is not to be boom, bang, boom, bam. You know, he's he's working behind the scenes. And I was reminded of that, but that's not the verse that I wanted to read, because when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, that was literally what it felt like. So, this is Psalms, oh no, this is not it. This is Psalms, I think it was, oh shoot, which one was it? I think it was Psalms 18, I think it was verse 11. So, it's talking about God. And it says, He made darkness His covering, His canopy around Him. Oh my gosh, can I just like say that again? He made darkness His covering, His canopy around Him. I don't have anything more to say. That was the first time I ever, on a personal note, felt that the Lord ever, I don't want to say felt that, because just by reaching out His hand to me in any form, I feel loved. But I've come on here and talked about how much He loves other people, and it's not that I doubted that He loved me, but I don't hear that. Like, it's not, like, for me, because it's not about me, and that's fine. But sometimes I'm like, you know, other people say that they hear God say to them, I love you, and you're so beautiful. I don't, that's not what I get. And that's fine, but it's just, I want that. But that time, I know He was pleased with me. I know there's this thing in Isaiah, and it's, or not Isaiah, oh my gosh. It's in, somewhere in the Old Testament, and it's this verse that talks about making an aroma pleasing to the Lord. a sweet aroma pleasing to the Lord. It's talking about a sacrifice. And someone said something really beautiful, like, let that be my everyday posture. What can I do to make an aroma pleasing to the Lord? A sweet aroma pleasing to the Lord. I think it was Deborah B. She's a really good YouTuber. Check her out. And that's my that's my sweet aroma pleasing to the Lord. At least that day it was. So I'm just, but yeah, please stay encouraged, guys. Like, him showing me that is his way of telling me he loves me. But maybe he'll tell you in a different way. He probably will. He will tell you in a different way. He won't tell you in the same way. And it's like, it's really beautiful. So, I don't know. I hope this encourages someone.